Hi, it's Jessica. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about 10 ways to market and promote your YouTube video inside YouTube and outside YouTube. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so I'm sharing with you 10 ways to market and promote your YouTube channel video for creators. So this actually can benefit you whether you're a small creator or a large creator, because even the creators and video content creators and YouTubers who have large audiences may not be aware of the different ways that they could promote their channel. So here we go. Number one, the first thing you can do to market and promote your YouTube channel video is to identify 5 to 10 hashtags. For those of you who don't know, hashtags are essentially keywords, but words that are related to your content. You put the little pound sign in front of it, and that's a hashtag. So the reason why you identify 5 to 10 hashtags is because there are platforms outside of YouTube, and YouTube including, you can put them in your description box. There are people who monitor hashtags. So on platforms like TikTok, Snapchat, and even Instagram, that's how you get your content out there. In the past, for Instagram, for example, there are 3 ways for the most part that you can communicate and reach audiences who are not following you. One of them would be to have a hashtag and to show up trending in that hashtag in the top 9, or immediately after you post it, anyone who's monitoring that hashtag at the time will see your content before it gets buried on top of others. Now, Instagram is trying to become more of a search platform itself. And so therefore, it's telling people to put hashtags in the description box. You put your hashtag in the description box for your caption of your Instagram video, you're more likely to reach audiences because it's trying to serve it and deliver your content to people who are more likely to be engaging with your content. Knowing these 5 to 10 hashtags, so whenever you promote your video outside of YouTube or even inside in the description box, like I said before, the folks who monitor those hashtags will see them, click on the link, and discover you. So that is the first tool. And there are different ways that you can identify hashtags. The easiest way is to use tools like Hashtify.me, for example. I'll put a link below to that one. I'm not an affiliate. That's just one, but you can do a Google search and find others. So that's the first thing. The second thing you do to promote your YouTube channel video is to ask your audience. In my last video before this one, I did ask you guys, I said, if you know of anyone who's monitoring Pinterest, who've seen their reach go down and they're interested in finding ways and tactics and tools and learning what's new in platform so they can keep on top and reverse the downward spiral of their reach, these 10 tips will help them. So share this.
Share the love.
Get it out there to other people, and have that karma come back to you because you know that specific person is interested. And don't just share it wildly to people who don't care. Share it to someone you know may care about that content. So that's the second way you can market and promote your video, is to ask your audience to share relevant audiences they think that would benefit from it. So the third way you can share your video outside of YouTube, or just share it just generally, put searchable content. So for those of you who don't know, YouTube is actually a search engine. It's the number 2 search engine in the world. You probably heard this before. Google is number 1. Google owns YouTube. And so what does it mean to be a search engine? It means that people can find your content. You can wait for YouTube, which has a smart AI, which means artificial intelligence, has smart machine learning, has algorithms, crawls the different audience members and the different content on their platform, and they connect. First, it has to know who you are. It has to do what's called indexing, which is a marketing term. Once YouTube is indexed and identified what your channel is about and your content is about generally, the machines do its job. It can then now deliver your content and put it in front of people who are more likely to click and perhaps watch it all the way through and maybe become a subscriber, or at least give you a nice view duration, mean watching most of your content. So until YouTube does that, there's certain things that you can do actually to present your video to be prime in search. Some people don't believe in SEO. Some people don't think it's valuable or worth it. I do. I'm not of that school of thought. I think that if there's different ways that you can actually optimize or prepare your content so it gets found in search, do it. And now that we know that Google is actually selecting YouTube segments of people's YouTube videos through chapters and through timestamps to serve up to search audiences, it's even a better reason for you to actually put keywords inside in your video title and your thumbnails and the first 3 lines of the description box. I say the first 3 lines is important because a lot of times some of y'all put stuff that's unnecessary. You'll say, hey, how you doing? Follow me on Instagram. Welcome back to my channel.
All the stuff that's not keywords.
Do not put your keywords in the first 3 lines of the description box. You can actually repeat what's in the title of the video, what you say within the first 20 seconds, what you put in your thumbnail. Repeat those keywords in the first 3 lines of description. Add the tags, use tools like vidIQ. I'll put a link down to my vidIQ link as well. I'm an affiliate creator partner. And also put the hashtags. All of these things will help index, help categorize, help optimize your video to show up in search. So when someone's searching and Google identifies a segment in your videos talking about their search term, they will send that your video to that person that's searching outside of YouTube. So they can't do that if you don't put those keywords in there. So that's the 3rd way that you can market and promote your YouTube video. The 4th way you can market and promote your YouTube video is by blogs. Now, what do I mean by blogs and websites? So if you have a blog, if you have a blog on a specific topic or niche, if you continue to write topics in that specific niche, Google, which is a search engine, will eventually identify you as an expert. So when someone's searching, Google wants those older legacy blog content that's always producing content on this particular area. And they said, we can trust this piece of, this is a trusted source. They have good backlinks, good inbound links. Lots of times it's talking about this topic, and it will serve up your YouTube, your blog. Now, ideally, if you use this thing called exact match, if you do a search for, let's say, for example, Rode mic or the best mics, you're going to see different articles to talk about the best audio mics. So it says the 10 best mics on YouTube or the 10 best mics for vloggers. And you are doing a YouTube video on mics. So what would you title your YouTube video? Does it make sense to say mics I love, mics of YouTube, vlogging mics? No, you're going to say 10 best mics because that's exact match to the ones that are showing up. In YouTube, there's this thing regarding that where it's putting things together. It's association. So it's going to associate whatever is good and popular and good, make it look exactly like that. One way you can do that is have the exact title in your description and your blog, the exact title in your YouTube video, and then a top fold. Remember, if you guys are old enough to know newspapers, or you remember your grandpa or your aunt went out and got the newspaper and they walked by the newsstand, they put the most juicy stuff in the top of the fold. When you give that quarter, you get the newspaper, you unfold it. That's when you get the rest of the stuff that isn't as important. They're enticing you with the top of the fold. That's why you put your YouTube video above. You don't even have to have a lot of words. You can just say, hey, I did winter's coming. I know people want skin products. I reviewed my favorite 5 skin products, my 5 favorite winter beauty products. Here they are. And then you put your YouTube video and the title is 10 best skin products. And the videos in Google that's come up are the 10 best skincare products. Exact match. Now we're going to talk about different actual platforms. So I was talking about different things you can do that you can own on your own, that you own, you control. Essentially, the hashtags, you can control what hashtags you put in there. You can tell people to view it. You can add keywords, and then you can actually own a blog that you own and put your YouTube videos. So those are the things you can do. Now we're talking about different platforms that you can use to help you reach audiences. The first one is Pinterest. This is a Pinterest marketing channel, especially if you're in the following niche: beauty, hair, nails, travel, DIY, home decor, photography, design. What else did I miss? Fitness, fashion. Those topics do well in Pinterest naturally. So if you're doing those topics, it's a no-brainer to share. I have this video here. I'll put a link to it as well. That shows you 5 different ways that you can actually use Pinterest to market and promote your video, because there are audiences in Pinterest that when they're looking for something, they're not coming to YouTube. So they will never find your video. They will never see your video. YouTube is its own platform. In order for somebody to see your video, if you're relying on YouTube, they have to actually come to YouTube. So one way that you can actually bring them over to your YouTube channel is go to where they are, tease them and entice them and bring them back to your YouTube channel via a link. So you have to take your YouTube channel link and go to Pinterest, and there's 5 different. I have an example I always use. I saw that DIY bath bombs are trending. I had content related to DIY bath bombs. I went create a pin. I redid that video a little bit, and what was #1 search traffic? DIY bath bombs. People were searching for it. They were looking. There's not a lot of videos doing it, but I was one of the people actually creating content that people were searching for, and I got all the traffic from it. It's a no-brainer. It's like, duh. So that is the 5 tool, is the Pinterest. Number 6, Instagram is becoming more video friendly. IGTV now is just video. So they are now mixing reels, video content, which is 1 minute, under 1 minute, and also long form video into one theater. So the people who go to watch reels and they're just scrolling on reels, they now are going to bump into your YouTube teaser video that's 2, 3, 4 minutes long, because Instagram is putting them all in the same theater. So that means you're going to get that Reels eyeballs on your teaser content. Isn't that amazing? That's amazing. So go ahead and put your YouTube teaser video that I told you about when I talked about number 4 or number 5, when I talked about Pinterest, that teaser content that you create using Flexi Clip, which I'm going to put a link down before, or using Wondershare tool, which I'm going to put a link down before, or using Capwing, I'm going to put a link down before. You can use those to create nice little teaser content, drop and drag fashion, create a quick little video, serve that into Pinterest, serve that into YouTube. It can be more than 1 minute long, and you'll link back to your YouTube video. And then also Instagram now has links instead of what's called swipe up. And so with links instead of swipe up, now they're giving it to everybody. I only have 2,600 YouTube. I only have 2,600 followers on Instagram, yet I have the links. And so I did a YouTube video. I was able to add the link into my stories. So use Instagram. So that's number 6. Now I'm going to talk about 7 through 10, but I'm going to plug in this video. I'm going to plug in this device because Lux is dying and I don't want it to die on me. Okay, so now we're going to talk about 7 through 10 ways to market and promote your YouTube video. The 7th way is to Twitter. So there are a lot of YouTubers who use Twitter, actually. And when I look at the back end of my analytics in terms of for the external sources that drive traffic to my channel, people who come to my channel from sources outside of YouTube, Pinterest and actually Twitter and Facebook, interestingly enough, are one of the top sources. My average view duration right now for Pinterest traffic is something like 88%. My average view duration for traffic from Twitter is like 54%. Why do you think it's that high? The reason why it's that high is because I use for Twitter hashtags. And then I also, with Twitter, you can actually follow a topic. So people who come to Twitter sometimes will prompt them and say, hey, we see you liked Bitcoins. You might be into cryptocurrency. You might be into NFTs. You might be into financial literacy or financial. So this category of content that you're sharing, you're retweeting, you're responding, you're engaging with the content related to that, why don't you follow these topics? And so people blindly will go ahead and follow those topics. What's going to happen is Twitter is going to serve tweets from audiences, from tweets that they don't necessarily follow in these accounts. They're going to feed it to these folks because they're following the topic. So that's a great reason why I use Twitter to get traffic to my YouTube channel, because I know that people who are following YouTube, for example, if I'm doing a video related to YouTube, even if they're not following me, YouTube is going to serve my tweet that has my link to the video to them. You can also follow hashtags, and there are people who also put people or women of Clubhouse, for example, on a list. So if they put me on a list and other people are following the list, that's a great way of getting in front of people who aren't following me through topics, through hashtags, and through leads. There's another way I'm going to do a video regarding like ways to use Twitter to market and promote your YouTube video. There's other ways that you can use Twitter. And so the people who follow that are actually interested in that content. When they click that link, they're more likely to watch the video all the way through. And that's why I have a high view duration on those views. So I'm not just sharing it blindly to mom and dad and pops and things like that on Facebook, because the family who are following you on Facebook, the like for like, the sub for sub, they don't care about that content. They may come on it and they'll look at it for a few seconds and click off. They may sub for a few seconds. They don't care about your content. They're not going to watch it. You're not getting a high view duration from someone who doesn't care about your content. But someone who's watching those topics, those hashtags, who's chose to follow that list, they do care about that. So when you put your video in front of them, they're more likely to click through and watch and promote. So that is the 7th way to market and promote your videos. through Twitter. If you like these tips, if you're enjoying what you're watching so far, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to this channel so I can deliver more tips like this for you. And even better, if you want YouTube to let you know every time I publish a new video and you want to be the first in line to find out, hit that subscription bell. You hit that subscription bell, YouTube will let you know, hey, JJ published a new video. It's that simple. The 8th way to market and promote your video is through communities. So there's Facebook communities, there's subreddits, there's Reddits, there's Discords. You have to be a member already of these communities before you share. The examples I give, for example, is I'm in a Pinterest marketing community. So sometimes someone will say, hey, my links are broken. I don't know how to fix this link. And they're talking about it. I know as a YouTuber, I did a video on how to fix your broken Pinterest link. I have a 301 redirect video. So I would share, I would ask the owners, is it okay to share? They say it's okay. And I would share that link to that video that's showing people how to do it. If the Facebook group has thousands and thousands of people, there are other people who've come in across this problem and they see my video, they see me answering this person, and they too would click the video and I would get that watch, and they may share with other people, they may become subscribers. But I'm not doing it because I'm not a member of the community. I'm already a member of the community. Another example, I did content, I have a parenting YouTube channel, and someone talked about colleges, like, oh, this pandemic era, we don't want to take all this stuff with us. You know, what do we do? I did a video on the 4 things you must take, the 4 things you can leave behind. I was able to respond, hey, here's what I did, a video on key things when I took for my son and 4 things to leave behind. I share the answer, and all the people in that community, thousands of people were able to see that. And sometimes these group communities have Let's Share Tuesday. That's the day you share your video. So those are the ways you can do it. That's number 8. I'm going to do 9 and 10 soon, but someone's knocking at the door. It was my family members. I don't know why they didn't use their key. Anyway, number 9, we're almost done. The 9th way to promote your YouTube video is through different platforms, desktop apps and mobile apps that encourage 2 things, either curating, so like-minded creators together will share their links to their YouTube videos to their various audiences because they share similar audience types. I'm gonna talk about that. And then, or the apps are question apps where people are coming for answers. Pinterest is one of those where people have a search intent. They're looking for something. They're looking for the answer. So if a video is gonna provide them the answer, they're more likely to click that video and watch all the way through. You just gotta make sure your content is good. For example, I was looking for how to relace my daughter's Sperry shoes. I didn't care the content. I didn't care about anything else. You know, the lights, the cameras, the video. I just wanted to know how to do it. Someone might be looking for how to resurface their dresser before they do it, what type of paint to use. They don't care about the content. They just want to know, you're going to share with me what type of paint I should use to prime my daughter's dresser before I actually repaint it, or I get, how to do it. So for that type of content, when people are looking for something, so those platforms or folks are looking, those are the best place to share your YouTube video. Now, regarding curation app, one of them is called Triber. I'll put a link down below to Triber. I've been a member of Triber when I was a blogger. And that's just where people who are similar, you can join the tribe. So, for example, I belong to a tribe of tech people. There's tribes of parenting bloggers. There are tribes of ethnic hair bloggers. So we were all there. And so the people who watch my ethnic hair blogging, they would also be interested in the content that another fellow ethnic blogger was sharing. So we would all put our information there, and you can link and you can click off. Similarly, if you were in tech and everyone, the tech was doing something related to a review and unboxing. So my audience would care about that. So everyone put their links together and you can share this content because you're a member of a tribe. Pinterest, there's a app that's built on top of Pinterest called Tailwind. I'm an affiliate of them too. I can put that below. But if you've done a pin related links back to your video and you're a member of a tribe on what is now called communities and Tailwind, they were more likely share your video if they share your pin that links back to your video because you guys are all talking about the same sort of content. So when you have tribes or communities of people, fellow creators who are sharing their videos, sharing, cross-pollinating your audiences. That's a great tool. So Triber and Tailwind, which has a communities function, is one tool that lets you do that. Also, there's a thing called Pocket, and there's Alltop, where people just on their own are curating content. So I'm looking for certain topics. I can create a RSS feed that links to various different blogs and people that are serving me a specific type of content. So Pocket and Alltop are two different platforms where people self-curate content. So if you submit your video to those sources, and people are searching for information, they can pull your video and put it in a content bucket for themselves. And the third way is like people looking for answers. My example I give is Quora. And if you have time to market and promote, if you're looking for a platform you can market and promote, Quora is great because people are looking for answers. So you can answer the questions, and one of the answers could be your YouTube video. And if you don't feel comfortable with it being you, if you have the funds or resources to hire someone, you can actually hire someone who has their own Quora account, and they could recommend your video. So that way it doesn't look self-serving. I don't think there's any rules against that. But sometimes people will be hesitant to click if they know, wait a minute, she clicked that video, she shared that video, that's her. So Quora, so outside platforms, mobile and desktop, that encourage curation or answer questions are great ways to market and promote your YouTube video. The 10th and final way is through ads. I'll put a link down to Sprizzy. I've used Sprizzy before, and sometimes you just want to give your YouTube video a little boost out there, and it'll take off at some point. What Sprizzy does is purchase an ad right before or around content related to yours. So if you're doing, I don't know, a review of mugs or something like that, or you're doing how to make a ceramic mug, they will put your video of your new video for your new channel in front of a video that's already performing well of people that are interested in that. So if they're interested in this video, they may see yours come before, or they may see yours on the side, or wherever the hell Sprizzy puts your content. You can choose, let them do it for you. You can do it for you can decide yourself. And so it's similar audiences. They're putting your content in front of the audiences that are more likely to like that anyway. It's a paid campaign. It's not the best way, because some people say if you get YouTube still used to purchasing, YouTube knows you're going to buy for ads, content, for space, for reach. They won't necessarily get your video out there because you're paying for it. So why push you out? I mean, I've heard that as a conspiracy theory. That may be something to think about if you want to consider that. But for the most part, I think you'll be okay. I think you could just do that. So anyway, but it's the least one, obviously, because it costs money. Everything else I told you is free for the most part, unless you purchase like some upper tier of one of the apps. But every single thing that I mentioned before is free. And so, yeah, there's no cost to any of them. So that's the only one that's a cost to it. But if you have the budget and you can afford it, hey, why not? Get in where you fit in. So I hope that was helpful for you, fellow YouTube creators. 10 ways to market and promote your YouTube channel video. So there you have it. Yeah, so join the J Squad. There's plenty of room for you. And shout out to my last JJ Squad commenter. I love you, girl. Anyway, so that's what I have for you today. Now, what I would like to, if you enjoyed this, I want to invite you to watch this video here when I share more tips for YouTubers. And subscribe, and see you next time. Cue my outro music. Ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, boom, boom.